Yes, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson, and this is Tactical Preview, how to beat Manchester City. Steve, are you really saying how to beat? Well, I'm going to tell you how to beat them. Doesn't necessarily mean this is how it's going to go down, but if you want to know how to beat them, I'm going to tell you how you can beat them. Obviously, doing it's a bit harder than that, because I don't know if you've noticed, they're pretty good. And the amount of people who afterwards, especially after like you lose to Middlesbrough or something like that, and go, oh, how to beat Middlesbrough, how to beat Watford. Yeah, it doesn't say we are definitely going to beat them, does it? It says here's how to beat them. And actually, very, very accurate information in all of these. We're fucking good at what we do. This is how you beat them. Doing it's a different matter, though. Right then, situational preview. What's going on with Manchester City, Steve? The top of the league, mate. As fuck. They've not really been as imperious of late. They've won 3, drawn 1. Lost 1 of their last 5. Pissed us 2-0 previously in the reverse fixture. How do they play? Have you been under a rock? Pep's known for possession, obviously. That's the first thing that comes. He's possession obsessed. He has revolutionised and developed and taken tiki-taka. Tiki-taka was originally an insult at first. But, you know, he's taken tiki-taka, and the 4-3-3 variation that he plays basically tries to play as pretty much 6 midfielders, especially when he's not got an out-and-out centre forward. He's going to dominate the ball. He's going to dominate the territory. That's what he does. Seems almost impossible to mention anything that City do, tactically wise, without mentioning his use of inverted fullbacks, which I think is clever. And genuinely revolutionary. Some of the stuff that he gets the credit for, not revolutionary, not his idea. Inverted fullbacks, I think that might have been. Certainly his deployment of them has been the best I've ever seen of it. They start in a fullback position during defensive phases of the game, and it's less energy taxing, it's less positionally dangerous than overlapping fullbacks. Overlapping fullbacks are a great tool to widen the pitch and as an extra runner coming in, but he supplements that by having his 8s do underlapping runs or overlapping runs, and he has the fullbacks coming into inverted positions alongside the number 6 generally, and even taking the position of number 8. So that's why you've seen a lot of playmaking done by the fullbacks at Manchester City. The primary reason for that is create central overloads. It simultaneously allows wingers to go wider. It pushes the central midfielders higher, and it does so in a less energy taxing method. And if you're not expending as much energy, you can be a little bit calmer, a little bit focused. And what they do with Kyle Walker and Cancelo, it looks natural. They circulate possession, switch play. They play through pressing. It's very good. They create a lot of their goals through cutbacks, intricate play in and around the box, try to drag an opposition fullback out of play. If they don't come out with them, they'll run at them, run towards a byline, looking for a check back towards the penalty spot or to the edge of the D. If the fullback does look to go tight to the winger, they're going to look for an inside ball for the number 8 who's getting beyond the last man, and that's going to be an attempt to drag a fullback into those wide sort of channels where they're a little bit weaker, again exposing someone central for the cutback. Those third man runs, extremely effective, difficult to trace, difficult to track, but also when someone's getting a shot in that sort of golden zone, basically like as a square from the edge of the 6-yard box to the edge of the penalty spot, all the way around that, to the edge of the penalty box, all around that penalty spot, that's basically just a golden zone for goal scoring. You're going to get very high XG chances, and the reason that you're getting high XG chances is because there's a very great opportunity for you to score. Concentration is needed at all times with City. You cannot switch off, as they thrive on a long, patient build-up, waiting for you to make a mistake. They choose their moments to switch up the pace, attack, and absolutely punish you. The use of a false 9 in these sort of situations to sort of overload those central areas, which was something they're definitely doing without a recognised centre forward, makes the centre halves struggle even more, to be honest, because they're going to be itching to get in the game realising they're under attack, but not having anyone they can physically go and mark, put a hand on or deal with, watching everything take place around them, around the number sixes in front of them, around the fullbacks to the sides of them. And then by the time it gets to them, you're looking at them being dragged out of position in a last-ditch defence sort of scenario, and it's already too late because they're going to be attacking with two at you. It's not perfect, and you can beat it, but it's pretty good. Predict 11 for City: Edison, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo. Midfield of Rodri, Gundogan and De Bruyne, which is embarrassingly good. And then Silva, Foden and Sterling as their attacking three. Star man, I think this season, you'd have to say Phil Foden just looks like he's delivering. 10 goals, 8 assists in all competitions. One of his biggest underrated traits is his versatility positional. Like, is he an 8? Is he a 10? Is he a false 9? Is he a winger? Yeah, he is. He's got a great turn of speed. He's got very good close control dribbling. He rides challenges really well. He's got really good balance. He fucking glides across the pitch. And he's got a bit of a wand of a left foot, which has got a bit of a strike on him. Now, we're going to get into the stats, and it's harrowing reading because City are dominant in a lot of stats. They lead the league in possession by a distance. They average 68.2% possession with the best pass completion at 88.2. They've scored second most goals this season with 64, just behind Liverpool. They lead the league in passes into the final third, passes into the penalty area, touches in the opposition penalty area, and they're a bit of a fine-tuned machine in that sense. Cancelo is a surprising catalyst and danger man, leading the league in passes into the final third. You've really got to watch him. You've got to press him and be aware of the threat that he poses. So you've got to work off the ball with him. Surprisingly, this season for a team that doesn't have an out-and-out centre forward, they lead the league in crosses with 4-4-2. How ironic is that, by the way? And they also have the best defensive record in the league. They've only conceded 17. Fuck me, Steve. Where's the good news? The good news is this Mike ain't having it. The good news is the high line is risky at times. And if you've got pace, you can beat it. The starting 11 that I would go with to beat them, probably a couple of changes and a couple of surprises in this. So, De Gea in net. Wan-Bissaka over the low for his 1-to-1 defending. This isn't a game where I'm looking for Wan-Bissaka to have 60 touches, hold on to the ball, move it smartly. No, this is a game where Wan-Bissaka is going to be absolutely clamping, probably Phil Foden or Sterling, and doing probably a lot of last-ditch 1-to-1 defending. He's absolutely required in this scenario. I'd go with Telles because I just think he's better than Luke Shaw, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Luke Shaw. It's got to be Lindelof and Varane. When you're looking at players that can defend the channel, players that can defend balls in behind, players that have got a turn of pace and aren't clumsy, it's these two, and it's not Harry Maguire. These two have to start. They looked great the other day against Watford. Let's give this partnership a bit of a chance to flourish and see what it can do. It would allow us to play a higher line. That wouldn't be required against Manchester City. All of the positives that Harry has as a player, they're negatives against Manchester City. He's great in the air. They're not putting the ball in the air. He's going to put a hard tackle in. There's no one playing against him. He's slow. They're going to play intricate passes all the way around the centre halves. Harry would be a massive weakness in this game. So Lindelof, honestly, this microphone, I hope this microphone isn't as indicative of our chances of winning this game as I think it is. Lindelof and Varane is a far better option. Now you move into midfield. McTominay and Fred is the answer. Alongside Pogba, though, in a 4-3-3. But don't be surprised or upset if this is a 4-2-3-1 and you give both of them the job of tracking those number 8s. I think that's something you should look to do. Maybe put Fred on De Bruyne and have McTominay sort of go head-to-head with Gundogan a little bit. That might be a good idea. Leave Pogba to sort of put a bit of pressure on, I would say, on Rodri. Match their midfield for shape. That might be a good opportunity for us. And then here's where my spanner in the works comes in. Because I ain't playing 4-3-3. I'm playing a 4-4-2 diamond. Bruno Fernandes in the 9. He's got the pace. He's got the work rate. And I'd give him the freedom to just be someone that's looking to create and play a final ball in this scenario. On the left-hand side, we're having Jadon Sancho. Best United player in the squad at the moment. On the right-hand side, Anthony Elanga. Work rate personified. I think this is a team that can play on the counter. And that's what you're going to have to do about them. You're going to have to be careful not to be penned in. You're going to have players that can hurt them on the attack. That's Jadon Sancho. That's Bruno. That's Elanga. It's also Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's physicality and ball-playing ability. If you don't play Pogba and you're just looking at McTominay and Fred, you're just hoping that we twat it over the back of their line and we can go and chase it. There won't be any quality in the balls that are being played into the final third without Pogba. Can we go and have a go? That can be playing on the back foot and looking to spring out. Tottenham did a very good example of this the other day. City used to teams sitting back, waiting to concede. If you're aggressive and you try and get at them and you press them, you don't give Cancelo any time on the ball, and you're physical, you can rattle them. Can we be brave? Can we try and press high? The team that I've selected gives you the opportunity to do both. You can press high and let them try and play in behind you, or you can set up deep, be compact, and look to try and counter. I don't think you can start Ronaldo if you're looking at counter-attack, which is why I didn't. You go with a back four. You go with a back four that's there as a back four rather than two and wing backs. You go with your attacking threats that can get in behind Sancho, Elanga, and even Bruno. When you've got opportunities on the break, you have to be clinical. There's no room for wastage in this because City, they don't allow a lot of opportunities. So you've got to be clinical when they give them. You've got to be a better matchup in midfield. That's why I've sort of added Bruno in the mixer as well there, because it does give us technically numerical superiority. You're going to put Sancho and Elanga on the fullbacks. You're going to ask City to play through their centre-halves. And that might result in them trying to go a little bit longer than they want to, trying to go a little bit more direct if you want to. If you can cut off the passing supply to the fullbacks and the midfield three, you've got a chance. Make them play through their centre-halves and hit them on the counter with absolute deadly accuracy. It's going to need to be a perfect performance. The one time United have tried to play on the counter so far under Ralf Rangnick was Atletico away, and we were shit. This needs to be a much better performance. I believe we can do it, but the odds are definitely against us. Give me your thoughts on that selection in the comments. Let me know what you'd go with. Let me know what your one tactic to beat City would be. And I'll see you fuckers in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.